Rappers revealed Lil Durk is being released from jail due to his lawyer's sneaky tactics, a viral tweet read. Durk's lawyer just submitted the sneakiest bond proposal I've ever seen. We're actually about to see him released before GTA 6, as the famous rap lawyer known as Lawyers for Workers ended up sharing this on Instagram.
In the Lil Durk case, his lawyer Drew Finling not giving up on the application for a bond. Now, they were denied last week by a magistrate judge. In federal court, you have a magistrate judge and a district judge. The district judge is on top of the magistrate judge. So if the magistrate judge denies you, you can ask the district judge to take a look at it. That's what his lawyers are doing here. I think this is a good decision because, quite frankly, in front of the magistrate judge who denied Lil Durk, Drew Finling could have pulled a rabbit out of a hat, and that magistrate judge would have remanded the rabbit. You have to consider the fact, and I hope the district judge will, that this case, as pled several months ago, has been significantly watered down in terms of how it's being pled against Durk, where you used to have an allegation that we, the government, are going to prove to you exactly who he paid the bounty to. Now the government's saying, oh, we're not going to be able to do that.
As mentioned by Mo, the Fulane judge denied Durk instantly. This is due to his case being a flat-out murder for hire. But due to this, it was announced Lil Durk gets another chance at freedom after a new judge approved a June 2nd court hearing to review. His third bail offer now at $2.7 million, as Durk was able to secure another bond hearing, but this time with the main judge. But it's what happened on his last hearing which will help him get released this time.
Update on Lil Durk. He had his bond hearing today. He looked good. He looked like he was in good spirits. No crazy weight gain or anything like that. He looked good. The judge was on the same vibes she was on last time, which is that, wait, they're saying murder for hire. They're saying you put bounties up. They're saying you ordered. They're saying I'm saying that's going to be no bond. There's basically no argument you can make to this judge in a murder for hire case to get a bond. Is that the prosecution's case has taken two major hits. One, the prosecution has had to abandon their allegation that he rapped and celebrated about this murder, that he put these lyrics out talking about, oh yeah, I got you, you out here screaming no, no, crying in the street. Prosecution had to back away from that allegation. It was proven false. They need that allegation.
Allegation is what will have him released is the prosecutors tearing down their own evidence against Lil Durk. They're weakening their own case on purpose just to make sure that Lil Durk doesn't receive a bond.
Another allegation they backed away from, which is huge. It shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty for through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else. And the fact that they're not saying that suggests that previously they thought they were going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy, and now they know we're not going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this.
The case is getting weaker for the prosecutors, who can no longer use Durk's lyrics anymore due to this. Durk's own lawyer called the entire charge a joke. The feds only had lyric evidence against Durk, but now they're not even using it.
This is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Act. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
This looks so good for Durk that lawyers online are even commenting saying he's going to be released from jail just like
indictment. We noticed, and we started hearing from people in the music world. People are like, this doesn't really make sense. That song, those lyrics were done a long time before that. I mean, we were hearing it from all different directions. We were hearing it from studio people. We were hearing it from people that wear suits to work every day, executives.
Exactly, yep.
And so we were like, we got to get to work here. We got to figure this out.
This looks so good for Durk that lawyers online are even commenting saying he's going to be released from jail just like,
you know, likelihood of a plea. I think a lot of people have seen like this seems like it's a do or die thing. This is kind of like it's going to be like a 1 or 0 type of situation. You're either are or you're not. Is Durk, from your understanding, or you as a lawyer right now, as his criminal attorney, are you open to possible conversations about plea deals? Are you thinking, no, we're going all the way? Would you entertain it, just entertain it, because that's your job to listen to it and maybe present it to Durk, or that's just off the table?
It's a conspiracy commitment case. It's an all or nothing case, and he did not participate in a conspiracy to commit. And so there is no alternative. It's a life sentence, potential life sentence. So this case is going to go to 12 people.
As he also went on to explain how the prosecutors just don't understand rap culture. This has happened in many rap cases. It even happened to Young Thug, and all Lil Durk's lawyers need to do is go through the First Amendment right, and the case will be over.
There's a First Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you could go back and there's country records and there are pop records and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying violence, that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, the First Amendment has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about, and that doesn't mean just because the story is.
However, when you investigate further into the new Lil Durk charge, it does start to get very scary. They were able to drop some of the biggest coincidence evidences of all time. Durk literally rapped in a song, Look on the News, and see your son screaming no, nowhere. Quando was literally seen on the news screaming no now.
We've seen it happen quite a bit. I don't know that I'd say it's been persuasive. I think the biggest example we look at is Young Thug down in Atlanta. They took a lot of his lyrics, and even though technically speaking, ultimately they got a conviction, he actually walked out on time served. Most of the people that were prosecuted didn't end up being convicted, and I don't think anybody would call that prosecution a successful prosecution. And so, you've got freedom of speech issues. Does it mean that just because I'm saying something in a rap song, and it typically is a rap song, does that mean that I actually did something? And this is an extra interesting twist here because Lil Durk's attorney is saying, well, this song was actually released.
This evidence, it makes you wonder how much evidence they truly have. Well, after investigating the court files, I found everything one update many forgot reads. Over 230 gigs of digital evidence, which includes audio and video recordings and surveillance footage, as well as 20,000 pages of reports are being processed for discovery. This comes from a snitch within the F camp allegedly known as Jam. A court update read, the feds believe that Lil Durk paid to get these two people dealt with number 1 Stephen Matt, who got Lil Durk's brother D-Fang, number 2 F Jam's baby mom, who passed away after Jam wore a wire around Durk. Feds believe Jam is the key to putting Durk in jail for all 3 crimes, as not only is Lil Durk going to be getting targeted for the passing of Lil Pap, but Durk is also in the evidence files for 2 other Chicago murders, as Jam's baby mom sadly passed away after Lil Durk. Notice that he was wearing a wire during an Instagram live where Jam is seen holding the top of his jacket whispering in.
And I'll go out on a limb and say that sometimes prosecutors don't necessarily understand hip-hop culture. It's almost like a text without context. So you got to really understand the time, the place, the audience. Sometimes they might speak in ways that seem direct to somebody that's outside of the culture, but doesn't necessarily, but can mean several things to someone inside the culture. So it would certainly be a flub, big time, right? But it wouldn't be the first time that such a thing has happened where somebody looking through the window, particularly of hip hop culture, doesn't understand what's being said other than their desired use.
However, months before being in jail, Lil Durk knew that Jam was acting strange. It was announced Lil Durk has been playing 3D chess the entire time. He knew Jam was going to cooperate. I see. From a mile away, I don't think people realize that I could have a conversation with you for 5 seconds and know you're going to cooperate, as Durk would then later speak further on it, saying he doesn't even allow his friends to know where he lives. He gives no information to anyone. You can tell he's sad, knowing Jam snitched.
Search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
As a reminder, Jam is the same man that Durk gave $50,000 to during this Instagram Live. But I want you to pay attention to the people in the background of the Instagram Live, as it's very important.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie, my whole dream changed. I ain't gonna lie, like back in the day. Oh my!
Give me the check on your man. I already got his head.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Hey, when I was growing up, I
What happened to Dare?
Architect. What happened to who? What happened to Dare? Schools had stuff down.
The feds investigated those in the background of the IG Live. They noticed these are the same men that were jewelry shopping with King Von, and they were the same men that went out to Los Angeles to commit the crime for Durk, the solitary. Let's go over there. Boss, you good, my boy? Let's go ahead. They got real in here, man, because he just stepped in. The money man stepped in due to this. Lil Durk's name is now in a file for the passing of Jam's baby mom, but he's also in the same file for the murderous Fawn Mad. It started with this Instagram story that reads, for dang. Aha, this was posted 30 minutes after Stefan Mack passed away alongside this Instagram story, where LOL Durk is laughing the following day. DK Boy said Khan. However, this isn't the only snitch against Lil Durk, as the case begins to get very scary when realizing what is about to happen. The news wrote, prosecutors delayed Durk's chance of being released on bond to gather last-minute evidence against him for the next hearing. Chatter of a new snitch is going around the courtroom. This happened during his second bail hearing, where he was denied, but this is likely due to the arrest of Brick Baby just 1 week before Lil Durk's bail hearing. It was announced Big U, Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, and others were all arrested in a rolling 60s gang takedown. It was shared. Lawyers and sources believe that Brick Baby, who was arrested in the latest gang takedown, will snitch on rapper Lil Durk. The timings of both arrests make lawyers believe the feds will force Brick Baby to give everything up on Durk, as the feds originally targeted Lil Durk for murder for hire because of Brick Baby. What you didn't know is 3 years ago, Brick Baby did a live stream saying you can't say Durk never slid for Vaughn because they got Lil Pab. Once Lil Durk was arrested, Brick Baby just so happened to be live streaming, where the producer of the stream would throw up Brick Baby's old interview, making it extremely awkward in the room, as it literally looked like he drew the federal attention to Durk's name.
Steady crying, huh?
He's steady crying. Feed him. Feed him.
Get in the milk, bro. Get in the milk so baby mama get the tricking, bro.
See that?
Feed
For my
him.
baby. He tell me, that's really how y'all hold y'all babies, ain't it? I gotta hold my money like this. This too much. Crazy though. No sitting up there doing all this. Sneak this and the internet games and all this. Up some money. Do something. Like, we winning, bro. I can do whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Just not what I want to do what I want. Y'all can't do that, bro. Goof
Bro got out what?
You know that
How many you did it all?
How many years I did it now?
Yeah. That's your last bit. 12?
12.
That boy popped out 12 years.
Yeah.
So much money. We really just get in order to just figure out the lanes, man, boy.
You know, Brick Baby also did something even worse. The feds brought up the evidence of, and I quote, told me they got an Addy Goat, got the location go, which are lyrics from the Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy track. They connected it to, I quote, Brick Baby says he would have dropped Rondo's location if Lil Durk had asked him because he's loyal to him. Now all the feds need to do is check the iPhone logs, which saved for 10 years.
Solitary.
Hey, big fan.
We just looked at him. Let's go over there. What up, bro? Boss, you good? My boy. Let's go. Good.
They got real in here, man, because he just stepped in. The money man just stepped in.
You can't see us. What? Tweak on my folks. Hey, somebody always said, it's live for Khan. Yeah. Somebody always said, it's live for Khan.